Before I start, if you love real, raw stories like this, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I want to know how you would feel in my shoes. It began with a casual joke, or at least that's what she thought it was. We were sitting in the living room, a glass of wine in my hand, the soft hum of our old ceiling fan above us. She smirked at me, tilted her head, and said, "You know, husbands are kind of replaceable, right?" I froze. The words sank like a cold blade straight into my chest. I laughed nervously, trying to brush it off. She's joking. She has to be joking. But the smile on her face didn't reach her eyes. That night, I went to bed with a gnawing unease in my stomach. Over the next few days, subtle things began to whisper doubts into my mind. Her phone buzzed constantly, and sometimes she'd pull it out of sight when I entered the room. Messages disappeared from the screen before I could see them. Calls went unanswered, or she claimed she'd been busy at work when I knew she was home. I started questioning myself. Was I imagining things? Was I just being paranoid? Maybe I was too clingy, too sensitive. I replayed the words she said about replaceable husbands over and over in my mind. Was it really a joke or something darker? Then one evening, I decided to change something small. Just one thing. I stopped pretending I didn't notice. I left her phone where she always kept it, on the kitchen counter. I didn't snoop, didn't pry. I simply let it sit there. The next morning, the mood in the house shifted. A subtle chill filled the air, like winter creeping into spring. She avoided my gaze at breakfast, her laughter no longer spilling easily. That small act of quiet awareness, that one refusal to ignore the signs, seemed to make her uncomfortable. It didn't stop there. Weeks later, I accidentally glimpsed a message that popped up on her screen while she stepped away. My heart sank as I read it. "Can't wait to see you tonight. He doesn't have to know." Time froze. I held my breath, the mug in my hand trembling. I wanted to scream, to confront her right there. But a part of me was paralyzed, terrified that I would ruin the last shred of the life I thought we had. I confronted her later that night, sitting in the dim light of our bedroom. "Lisa, who's this?" I asked, my voice shaking. She froze, then laughed softly, an edge of guilt in her tone. "It's nothing. Just someone I met," she said, avoiding my gaze. I felt my stomach twist. The memories of us, the quiet mornings, the inside jokes, the shared dreams, suddenly felt like a mirage. Every kiss, every whispered, "I love you," now stung with betrayal. I realized that the woman I loved had started living a double life, while I pretended everything was fine. I wanted to understand her perspective, so I asked, "Why, Lisa? Why do this?" She looked at me then, really looked, and I saw something I hadn't seen before. Shame, regret, but also a strange clarity. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she whispered. I felt invisible. I felt like maybe I was missing something. And then he made me feel alive again for a moment. It wasn't about replacing you. I just needed to feel noticed. Her explanation didn't erase the pain. It didn't undo the betrayal, but it did humanize her in a way that made the heartbreak even sharper. She wasn't a villain in a story. I realized she was just flawed, like I am, making terrible choices in the name of longing. We sat in silence, the weight of our lives pressing down. I thought about the little signs I'd missed, the tiny moments that had now become evidence of a larger truth. I thought about trust and how fragile it is, how easy it is to break, and how impossible it sometimes feels to rebuild. Eventually, I made a decision. I told her I needed space, that I had to protect my own heart. She cried, begged, and explained herself. But I knew some wounds aren't meant to heal overnight. I left our home that night, walking through the quiet streets, feeling the sting of betrayal with every step. Even now, I think about her, about us, about the moments that once felt real, but now seem tainted. And yet, I also feel a strange sense of relief. I've learned something vital. My self-respect, my peace, and my sense of worth are mine alone. No one can take them, not even someone I loved so deeply. Pain teaches you lessons you never asked for. Heartbreak strips away illusions and leaves you with clarity. I still remember the way she laughed that night, mocking replaceable husbands. But I also remember how I changed one small thing. I stopped ignoring the truth, and the world became different forever. Life moves on, even when the heart is broken. I'm learning to breathe again, to trust myself, and to cherish the love that's real and mutual, not the kind that hides behind lies. And one day I'll be able to love fully without fear, without shadows.